Let's call this meeting to order. Please. Okay, the first order of business would be the minutes from the July 17 meeting.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion's been made by Sam to approve. Is there a second? Second by Jerry. Other discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next should be your bills list and additional bills list and transfers. There was some question earlier individually about some expenses at the Justice Center. There were several air handling units that the state approved to get replaced.
$13,000.
But in 2 or 3 different, they wouldn't know anything about that.
And that's a
They wouldn't know
pass-through?
anything about that. The maintenance, that's a pass-through, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, the state has to approve those now. And I think somebody told me at one time that that complex has about 65 or 75 air handling units within its system. And they're right at the 15-year peak. And
The
so
air handlers are, the compressors are gone.
Well, yeah, it's the compressors.
compressors.
Compressors are related to our HVAC issues with our geothermal field that hopefully will get better.
No, we're working.
Once we get the cooling tower and water comes in so hot it burns compressors up. I do know a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Too bit, just to be dangerous. Any other questions on bills, transfers? Otherwise, entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Jerry Hahn to approve. There's second by Bernard Ice. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Thank you. Next order of business would be just an awareness that your duty under law updates you guys have received in your mail, or not, you should be receiving. Kelly is supposed to make sure she provides you with those, and I'll make sure you get them.
We got it.
Did you get it? There's a signature page if you have to return back to us for media. I've emailed you the media, the electronic version of that, just so you'll know what's going on. And primarily, going back several years ago, the county judge, mayor, superintendent of schools, et cetera, is responsible for distributing records on the open meetings and open meetings laws and open records act in regards to any updates. You have to do it every time. Anytime the General Assembly this past term made some changes in the laws, and so now I have to go through and send to every board member. It's about 100 and close to 100 people probably, by the time you get all the planning commissions and everybody involved to get notified. And I have to certify that I have distributed those and then send back to the Attorney General. That's very important for any of those that are running for office. I'll send that electronically to you if you'd like.
No.
At the court meeting, I'll get with you guys on that. Any questions?
Good time to digest.
It's a lot to digest. I asked if I could just send the updates only, because everyone's received this information about 3 years ago. And no, you got to send the whole packet out. So I did that. I'm doing that. Treasurer settlement. Rhonda has in your mail provided you a review of the treasurer settlement and the vendor list. We need court approval on this pending any audit. Basically, it's for everyone that we've done business with, and it shows the dollar amount we've sent out, right?
There's a vendor listing that shows anyone that we paid in the aggregate more than $1,000 last year. The treasurer's report also shows all the revenue that we last year, as well as the cash and investment balances at year end.
You don't have to advertise this anymore.
I just have to advertise that it's available,
It's available.
and it will be on the website.
Anybody remember in the years past, all that vendor list had to be advertised years ago? Schools that do the same thing, who you spent your money with and how much? Okay, motion to approve, pending audit. Motion been made by Bernard Ice, second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove, motion will carry. And Rhonda, did you, at one time, did we post that on our website?
It is. It is on the website. It will be on
So
there
if anybody
this
wants to
week.
see it, it's on our website. Okay. Now we come, the tax rate for 2018. Friday, I received information related to the tax rates from the Department of Local Government. You have a couple of sheets to talk about. Rhonda's going to pass out something, I believe. If not, you put it in their mailbox?
Yeah, it's inside their binders.
Inside their binders, yeah. Before you bind
Right
it back
inside
up.
on the.
That's right, I do remember you doing that this one. Right here, Keith, right here on the flat, on the inside flat. Okay? Basically, it's showing that our current tax rate of 14.3 is what I'm proposing to the fiscal court. The compensating rate is 14.0. The 4% increase is 14.5, and I'm proposing leaving the tax rates the same, which would generate just a little bit more revenue, but keep us on a level playing field. In particular, with the adjustment in the retirement system we've made and other expenses in the general fund.
Yeah, the budget was based on the 14.3 cent tax rate, keeping the tax rates the same.
It says down there $80,000 in expected new property revenue,
Yes. It's a
79,606.
little less than last year. I think new property was down about 11 million from what I can tell from the prior year.
11.
It's still good.
It's still good.
No,
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely, yeah.
That's one or two buildings on the commercial side.
It's down.
Ron, do you want to explain, just for the public, what the compensating rate is for?
The compensating rate is the rate that the state determines would give us the same revenue as we received last year based on the 14.3 cent tax rate. So, and that's based on new property and decreased valuation throughout the county. And the state will set that compensating rate, and they'll also set the 4% rate that we could take if we wanted, or we can leave. As long as our tax rate isn't above the 4% rate, we can keep tax rates the same. And that's what we are proposing.
And we've done that last number of years to keep ourselves afloat. And it's worked out pretty good.
Yes. And but because our tax rate is higher than the compensating rate, a public hearing will be required in order to keep tax rates the same. That's the next.
Just to refresh your memory, in 1994, my first year as judge, the tax rate was 15.3 cents per 100. 15.3.
It's been 14.3.
So we've lowered it a few times in between to, and good measure to give people a tax break, but you know what, most people just want to be left alone. Most people just want to be left alone, and expenses continue to rise, and as you've seen, health insurance was up 7.7%, the retirement was 12%. So, you know, I think it's fair for us to keep our heads above water and do business this way, and it's worked pretty effectively.
Judge Ward, the seating property owner say, well, my taxes did go up, but if the assessment went up, what's our tax rate?
If the assessment went up,
Yeah, you know, the assessments go up every year.
not every year.
Well, no, the
They
most
go up every 4 years, typically.
But when it goes up on it reflects it, like when we raise our taxes, we didn't raise our taxes.
Yeah, you're right. And you can appeal that. They have 3 appeals this year, and I think there were 3 adjustments this year. It's all, out of all the 20,000 or so tax bills that go out, only 3 people appealed it. So there's a schedule on, listed there of proposed hearings that are going to be required, and that will require us also to adjust our court dates. Ron and I are proposing to have the court date on August the 23rd, right? Yeah. I've got it on.
Yeah, that count right there is this evening. It's going to be August 23rd, which is a Thursday.
What does it say up there?
No,
That's 17. That's an old calendar.
I took it down, so I'm going to put it back up.
Okay, that's an old calendar. So,
Where's your, huh?
don't say that's election year.
Special meeting required just because of advertising?
Well, because of the advertising laws with the public hearing and the tax rates, we have to advertise the hearing twice in 2 consecutive weeks, if I can word that correctly. And then the hearing has to be no less than 7, no more than 10 days after the second advertisement. So in order to get all of that in time, and based on the timing of the advertisement, we're asking to move the court meeting from Tuesday the 21st to Thursday the 23rd.
Not an additional, but in,
No,
It will be in place.
it will be considered a special meeting, and a regular / special, all this, everything that we can discuss in that meeting.
Do we need to have a motion to that effect?
What I would suggest is a motion to do the public hearing and change the meeting date, come back.
Keep the tax rates the
Keep the
same.
tax rates the same.
And then to.
And then we'll do a first, then we'll advertise, and we'll go back and do a
so.
first
You
reading.
keep making it more cumbersome.
Well, it's kind of complicated,
I'll
because
make
it's
the
a
motion
different
then.
law that regulates the timing on the tax rates than it does our regular ordinances.
I'll make the motion to keep the tax rates the same, to advertise for public hearing, and to have the special meeting on the 23rd
Thank you,
of August.
thank you. Very good.
Same time,
You
9
digested
o'clock?
all that. 9 o'clock.
Okay. Because it
Is there a
doesn't say
second to the
here.
motion? Second by Jerry Hahn, any discussion?
yeah, just to reiterate, this is not a reading on the tax ordinance.
No.
This is just for a public hearing, it's not setting the rate, it's not even the first reading.
But I am recommending
I understand.
the tax rates next percent. All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? The motion will carry. Immediately have that, we'll actually re-notify everybody on that as well. Okay? Easy? Okay, I want to give you a
Yes.
But it was 23rd.
little, let me keep my paperwork straight here.
Mine anyway.
You're fine, you're fine. Okay, amphitheater updates. I told you guys that I would keep you updated when we continue to receive some additional funds to do the several bid items that are that was in the original bid. I would ask fiscal court if we could to do, go ahead and do the overhead doors, which was $56,900, and the precast manholes and pipes to go with the sewer line improvements that are part of that project.
They're all in that same bid item 3?
No, the
The
bid
sewer
item
line's down below.
sewer line's down below.
I know that.
I know, but I only highlighted one. And John said we need.
Here's the price. So basically, for the manholes, there's a 4-week lead time, so it'd be good to go and order those. And here's the price. This is for the precast manholes.
That's the same what we got here, 40.
That was just an estimate there.
That was just an estimate, budgetary number. This is actually the price.
These are actuals.
Okay.
So if you ever take.
Much less.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it better.
But now, we have received additional pledges and actually checks since then, enough to be able to make this project work. And some other good news down the road coming too, but I can't talk about it right now.
So you've had enough pledge since the last time we okayed the thing to
Yes,
pay
sir.
for all this
Actually pledged and check.
in hand?
The check's on the way. And
That's what my people used to tell me.
It depends who you are talking to. But I feel very comfortable with the project and ask fiscal court to go ahead and approve those 2 items.
Okay, motion.
I need a motion.
The motion.
Motion by Bernard Ice, second by Jerry. Discussion? All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Had a little faith in the judge today, do they? I don't blame you. And as I mentioned before the court, a couple of the magisterial candidates, and even Don, if you want to sit in after the court meeting, I want to update you guys individually on the amphitheater project, if you don't mind. I just want to share some information with you, because you get into the election cycle coming up, there might be a lot of misinformation out there about the amphitheater project, and I think it's fair that, since you all are running for office, that you get an update on that. Since this Stephen Foster is technically a private company, I'd like to show you what's going on. Okay? Yes, Curtis. Road Department report, blacktop list.
So the only one we got left is Jerry's. Here is Jerry's list for you guys to review. Judge Jerry and I looked over it. Basically got Stoner Road, Graves Run, Richard Drive, and Mary Jo Boulevard. A portion of Mary Jo is ours, a portion is the city's. All said and done, that total will be $167,009.
I'm providing out of the county judges, Jeff, don't be raising your eyebrows here. That's all those eyebrows
I was
raising.
like, wait a minute, good, I thought I had the record there.
$47,000 out of the line item of the county judge's budget. To add to that problem.
All very good roads, trust me.
They're all very bad roads this weekend.
Good project.
Good project, deserving project.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion.
It's your district.
I said I made a motion.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sam. Discussion? All approve, say aye. Motion barely carries.
Jim,
Pretty weak down here, Dan.
That sunshine to the end of cul-de-sac, I left that for you. Thank you.
That's why he said.
He's one of my favorite managers.
I take that too.
See what I got?
Kind of added two and two together, too.
I'm entrusted to put the money where the need is. Woodlawn Road culvert replacement bids.
Okay, so did you give that copies to the media, the summaries?
I think you guys should have gotten a copy of that.
You guys get that?
Here you go, maybe you did.
Okay, so Woodlawn Road, you guys know, I got some emergency funds for that. We bid it out this past week. The lowest apparent bid is RAM, or RAM, I forget how they pronounce that, out of Washington County.
They did the Bull Run project.
138, 150. We dealt with them before, we dealt with them on Burns project. We dealt with them.
Bull Run too, though.
Right.
That was a bigger project.
Good work.
Now, the state emergency funding was 101, 448. My engineer's estimate, and of course, they didn't include contingencies, was 126. So basically, all said and done, we're over by, what is it, being 30?
$36,702, so you're proposing to pull that out of the reserve fund and general fund to pay for that project. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How come the state emergency money, how come they only come up with 101? Was that off of your?
Off my estimate.
It was 80% of the estimate.
And that depends on how many people apply for it, as to who gets what.
And by the way, that money, you guys probably learned in your conferences, cannot be carried over from year to year
Correct.
again.
Starting.
Like we did on
Yeah.
the last two bridge projects in your district and Burns district.
Yeah,
Need a motion to award to RAM.
I'll make that motion.
Motion been made by Sam, second Keith.
Yes.
Second by Keith Metcalf. Further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? The motion will carry.
So I'll issue a notice of award, get their performance, the bond information and insurance and all that, and go from there.
Did they give you an estimated timeline?
Yeah, like soon, quicker we move, quicker they get on it, because they're trying to do it in between projects. So I would assume, it's a big assumption, within the next 30 days, they'll try to be out there, but I need their paperwork from them first.
Correct. Okay.
Okay, also under road department, since technically, this is not technically, it's more of a utility issue. In Sam's district, there is a section of road or properties that he wishes to put, I guess, Salt River to put some utility poles in. From time to time, we've allowed fiscal court members to pull money out for fire hydrants, blacktop at the community center in Boston, various other little small community projects, and out of the occupational tax money, not the gas tax money. And Sam wishes to pull $7,000 out of his pot of money and hold off on some of the blacktopping that he initially had indicated of $7,000. I think that's on not Man Road.
Potter Shop Road.
I thought it was Borders. I thought it was Borders.
Yes, the blacktop would be
Yeah.
held off on Borders.
So you'll take $7,000 off that
But the
list.
utility pole projects on.
Salt River will set the utility poles. The city of Barstow will come in and strand internet for probably a mile.
1,000 feet
Okay.
across the creek and through the
But
woods.
otherwise, you'd have to go further to bring it in
Oh,
another
yeah.
way.
there's no other way to get to it. Miss Ballard won't let them cross her property, so it's our only means of getting access to that point.
And cities agreed to grant it, so it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, Salt River sets the poles, we pay for it. The city inherits all of it, so they've got the liability on it from now on, so it's
And
kind of a
Mike Powell, the
win-win.
city says he can strand it.
He can do it for that, so.
Have you got all the easements and everything?
It's on the edge of the county right away and then on the neighbor, so we're good on that part of it.
So what I need court to approve that expenditure to Salt River Electric
Do
to
you
set
need
those
to
poles.
step
I just abstain.
Okay. I'd make a motion to approve this use of the $7,000 for utility pole.
Okay. Second by Bernard Ice. Further discussion? All approve, say aye. Disapprove?
Abstain.
Magistrate Lear abstained. Lear. Joe, anything else, Brad?
Yeah, before you get off the road department, we've got a small issue in Boston at the fire department with the drainage. I don't know if everybody,
Yeah,
everybody's.
we're actually working on that as we
Okay.
speak, yeah.
There's another small problem there. There's a barrel over top of that hole. Okay, and the kids come from the Boston school to that little playground behind the firehouse, up and down the firehouse road there.
Come from the school, all the way to the other school?
No, from the Boston, somebody said the school, the Boston store.
Okay,
over
okay,
to
yeah,
the-
okay.
To the little playground.
I'll say that.
There's just a plastic barrel over that hole.
That-
That needs to be addressed,
First place, that's on private property,
okay?
the barrel, where the barrel is, but
Correct.
it does impede our, what's that road, Petersburg? Petersburg, does impede the roadway there, but that actually driveway into the fire station is on private property.
Okay, so we're not liable for that hole?
The county
If some-
itself, as such, is not.
Okay.
But we're just trying to work with the fire department,
I understand.
as a community down there. you
I don't
work-
know whose responsibility is.
But we are working on the overall bigger solution.
Right, I understand, but temporary, that barrel over top of that hole is not getting it done, because somebody's gonna pick that barrel off, and those kids coming back and forth there. I just didn't want a
Okay, we'll
liability
take a
issue,
look.
and somebody had called me this week to look at it, so.
And Magistrate Ice and Brad have been working on this for the last couple of months to figure out a final solution. I think we're pretty close on something.
But if we could get something out there besides that barrel, that hole would be real nice if something didn't happen.
We'll see, take a look at it.
Okay, appreciate it.
What else you got, Brad? on the road?
Okay, asphalt patching, we've done Mary Jo, Walker Hall, Treetop, Stoner, we had fixed them at Dean Watts Park, and then Leonard Hall Road. The weather's kind of scared us away from patching this week because of the rain in and out, so we're doing a lot of tree work this week, got a lot of calls on trees as far as the laying down, so we've got groups going out, cutting it with the grade all, and we're just addressing it as we can in between storms. Pipes and ditching, we did Treetop Culvert, Joe, we're done with that. Winston Schoolhouse Road, several Winchester pipes, Anita Drive, North Stillwell, Icetown ditching, and Hall Simpson Road. We ditched that, you remember where in the last winter, not Hall Simpson Road, Icetown, where we had that issue with the water kept coming out?
Yeah.
We took care of that
Did you?
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down there where the dirt was actually higher than the road.
Yep. So July 20th, we had a really good storm come through. We had Cox's Creek, Bloomfield, Woodlawn area, had a lot of trees down. We worked all night long Friday night. We worked all day Saturday. So the guys did real good. We almost had to stagger the shifts. They were out so long. Bush Hall, we're doing the third round. We're in District 5. We will start District 2 pretty soon. So that's coming along pretty good. Mago this past week paved Murray's Run Road and Plum Run Road, so they got them two knocked out over the way. The only other thing I got for you guys is, and I've talked to Dean briefly about this, we got a dump truck, remember the injector issue, where we're still trying to work through it with the international truck. I'll have, Dean will get some POs on that, we're talking anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to fix that truck on the engine. The reason I bring that up is to bring something else up. In our budget, we have to potentially buy a truck this next budget year. And so I'm kind of generally pushing you guys along that direction. You're talking 5-6 months to get something like that.
Is this international got the Sterling engine in it?
No, it's an international engine. It's when they went to the non-urea engine
Okay.
that they claimed was gonna be so good. And John can attest to that.
Same issues.
They're not great engines.
Yeah.
Too much head pressure and cause too many issues.
Almost like a 2006 Ford 6.0.
So we can mull it over today, we can save it for another day.
What model is this truck, Brad?
2011, I believe. Still a good truck. Just, we'll spend some money on it, that's fine. That truck's fine. That ain't the one I want to replace. So,
But we did talk about, and we deferred it last year, another dump truck, a tandem.
correct.
So I would recommend the court go ahead and advertise.
And we'll bring it back to you.
For a tandem. Motion in order? Motion? Yes. Motion, Bert made the first motion.
It is in the budget.
Second, Terry? Right. Second by Terry, further discussion? All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapproved? Motion will carry.
And then Friday, we'll have the bids in on the trailer. Remember, we had an excess trailer where we bought the Lowboy, so that's on that webpage, Gov Deals. And I went through the paper, it was advertised, Matthews went through all the right protocols on that. So Friday, we'll end up with those bids in. It's up to $8,600 right now, so we'll see where it comes in from.
Good.
That's better than
What you said? What what you said? You said I'll be worth 15,000.
We could do somebody.
Ain't Friday yet.
Ain't Friday, yeah.
And that's what we gave for it noon. That's it. You're a junker. Jail report, Dorcas.
Okay, today we have a total of 167 inmates. We've got 2 on home incarceration. We've got 54 state inmates. We have 1 that's out of court in another county. So we have an in-house total of 164. We've got about 5 that came in for court. They're going to be going back to the counties either today or tomorrow where they came from. July 2018 daily average. Controlled intake, we had 713 man days, that averaged 23 a day. Class Ds, we had 1,063 man days, that averaged 34 a day. Nelson County inmates, we had 3,282 man days, that was a daily average of 105. So our overall total for July, we had 5,058 man days, so we averaged 158 inmates a day. New arrests for July, males, we had 278. Females, we had 64. So that total's not right on that. But anyway, our releases, we had 170 males, we had 55 females. So our total of releases was 225. So we had over 300 arrivals for the month of July. Been pretty busy lately. Sentenced inmates, district court, we had 3. They're sentenced to jail, but they're not workable. Waiting for court, we have 23. Home incarceration, we have 1. Work release out of district court, we have 1. State inmates sentenced, we have 39. Controlled intake, we have 15 Class Ds. Out of the controlled intake, we have 1 of those that's an alternative sentence, so he's sentenced to jail, but the state still pays for him. We have 12 parole violations. I mean, they have returned, violated their parole, so they've returned recently. Home incarceration, we have 1. Community service, we have 6. Drug court, we have 1. And circuit court that's waiting for court, we have 77. So we have a total of 100 that has not been sentenced. We have a circuit court again the third Thursday of the month.
Have you got your new deep fryer yet?
It's due in the 17th. They had ordered, so it's due. It's not a deep fry, it's a tilt skillet, that's what it is. We call it a braising pan. That's what it was originally bought as. It's a multi-purpose.
It's actually on the ticket, it talks about braising pan.
Yes, that's what it was originally bought as, and it's a tilt skillet too. I mean, it's all in one unit, and it's not only the deep fry, you can actually cook in it. I mean, the bacon, the sausage, you can actually cook vegetables, you can make soup, and it's a multi-purpose thing.
Still pretty expensive, but thank you, George.
Yes, it is, but that's, you gotta look at how long that has lasted.
Since
89.
89.
So that's not bad, really.
We got what they say, that's your use. It's great to work with.
Yeah.
Cookies and.
All righty, thanks, Dorcas.
Okay.
Landfill solid waste report.
We're running out of rear load dumpsters, so I was pricing more dumpsters. I'd like to get some more 6s and 8 cubic yards. These are the rear loads. Got pricing on these. Basically, the company we've been getting boxes for the last several times, they've been the cheapest at this time as well. The 6-yard boxes are $1,068, and the 8 cubic yard boxes are $1,480. I would like to get 4 of each of those. And that would be a total of $10,192.
You sure can the last 2 court meetings and won the whole lot.
If we're in the business, we're in the business.
Tell him, John.
A lot of these are new customers. A lot of the other ones, like the bottom parade out, like you've seen, we've done a pretty good job of fixing those for fairly cheap.
A lot of the cities, older dumpsters, that they went to the front dumpsters, we bought the rear dumpsters.
Brad got lucky the past several years. We got them pretty much scrap metal price from the city. So basically, they have a few left. They're saving those because they still have a few rear loads. So we're back to the buying dumpsters once or twice a year.
Regular retail.
About how long does the dumpster last? You just, do you have any idea?
Probably 10 years.
It's probably,
Roughly.
It's all like chemical, all of it.
a lot of it at the bottom, like the bottom gets all the liquids, whatever, schools like milks and everything, all at the bottom rust out. So we're trying to fix those, but if we get new customers, then we have to buy.
We've gone as far as, talk about experimenting with a few dumpsters and doing the black, like a round liner type stuff. Like we do that ourselves at the shop, but everything sticks to it. You know, any little small papers and stuff will stick to the bottom of that worse than having a slicker finish.
Those can't have a drain in the bottom of them, or they wouldn't pass health department inspection.
Everything
So that
leach
soup
out.
just sits in the bottom.
Okay, and then motion to go ahead and make a purchase, it's over the $5,000. Motion be made by Jeff Lear. Is there a second? By Jerry Hahn. Further discussion? All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry.
Now, if we're spending money to making money, or we're selling our surplus equipment Friday. So we have the mechanic truck, that 92 Ford roll-off, and then our 826C compactor.
Sealed bids. Okay.
Sealed bids.
Money in there already.
So we had several calls for that, so hopefully that turns out pretty good.
We didn't have enough really options, so we just sealed bid.
Other than that,
All it's doing is just sitting out there and waiting.
Agreed.
yeah. Other than that, just normal operations.
Okay. Next will be Recreation Department report. Sad to report, you guys have been told, I sent you a memo on this the other day, about Tyler Winston has resigned as our Recreation Director. Tyler had an opportunity, before he had his, I'm not going to get into details, but he said before he had his first baby, he wanted to be a teacher. And then when he had a baby, he had to go to work. and so anyway, it worked out good for almost 3 years, 2.5, 3 years now, and Tyler's been with us. The school called him with an opportunity to teach at the alternative school, and a program where he can get his master's while he's going to school too. So it was a good opportunity for him. We wish him the best. He did a great job for the county, and therefore I have worked on an ad. We'll be advertising for that position. Right now, in between times, there's 2 gentlemen that's going to take over that role. Lee Mattingly and Brad Spalding. They volunteered to do that. But
So basically, we got Brent Willett still doing the mowing.
Yeah.
He's doing the striping. Tyler had already pre-laid out some of the fields for the soccer striping. So Brent and I discussed that yesterday. He said by the end of this week, we'll have all the fields striped that's required of that. There's nothing going on in baseball right now, and then football is not. They're using the facility this year to practice at. They joined a league where they're going to be playing at other locations, so the striping for those fields will be very minor. And Willett and I discussed that yesterday, so.
yeah. But we'll stripe good. And we'll be out the next week, 10 days on advertising for that position. Tyler did an excellent job. He told me I didn't lose him, but I understand you got something, an opportunity that he wants to move on. EMS report, Joe?
July numbers, 568 calls were received and responded to. Out of that, 129 calls were non-transport. That puts us at the year 568 calls starting New Year, July 1st. That's the EMS report.
Okay. Okay, under old new business, John, would you give kind of a little update, Brad, a little update on the courthouse project maybe? You do touch on.
Okay, so basically, toe pointing, basically, got our 4 chimneys done. They're focusing on the bell tower right now. They're getting that repointed. They got most of it cleaned out, or basically all the mortar cleared out to start putting the mortar back in. They're redoing this chimney, this flue, the southeast chimney up here. They're getting that done. That's about halfway done.
The one with
Go
the
back-
tree in.
The one that had the tree in, or bush.
Yeah, he told me it was a bush, it wasn't worth replanting.
So it's moving along pretty nice. We did have a few patch point locations where we went up there last week, marked that up, and
They
getting
put the
through
rest of the scaffolding up Friday and Monday.
Friday and Monday.
And, I mean, they've gone all the way to the top now with scaffolding. It's pretty high when you get up top there.
Yeah.
The roofing guy was expected to start this week, but he and I have discussed multiple times, with potential of rain. He doesn't want to start tearing off with rain coming in and whatnot, so I don't know if he's waiting for this to come through. He's been issued the notice to proceed, and he has a date to get it done by, which I think is early November timeframe.
Could be fine.
Yeah, I think so too, unless they run into something. And then the windows, John?
They should be getting, there's like a 4 or 6 week lead time on those. So they ordered them when we issued the notice of award. They should be getting in the next couple weeks. So he's gonna start taking out, up in the bell tower, start taking those windows out, start replacing those and coming down.
The idea that
So it'd be kind of tricky, coordinate that with the brick guys, with the roof guys, with the window guys, but we'll make it happen.
Appreciate
They're
that.
taking advantage of why that scaffolding's up. That's like a one-time gift.
Also, court members had approved repairs to the shutters and painting of the Wickland property. I put the painting on hold. After reviewing the shutters out there, we decided the shutters probably need a little more attention, and I'll be bringing you guys back something else to look at later. So we sent all the vendors that we originally had sent notice to bid that we were canceling that project for a while until we get the shutters. The shutters are probably a little more worse condition than we thought, and these are 9-foot shutters and heavy shutters. So we're getting some prices together, what it takes to repair those. I'll bring it back to you.
What about out front, the brick pillars?
We had the gentleman, if you want me to handle
Yeah.
it, Miles Miller, remember Miles? Miles was the one that originally did the tuck point in Wickland.
The older guy.
Yes, that's
He's
correct.
the one who helped you on this.
That is correct.
Take you up to look at
And he
it.
still hasn't. He took a look at those 4 pillars out front and honestly said, that all they are is double stacked stone or brick and hollow on the inside. He said he does not recommend trying to re-tuck point them and whatnot. Your best thing is to tear them down and start back over. And
Save the
any
brick.
typical mason should be able to do that.
We're working
You
on
don't
that.
need to get specialty brick guys involved. Nothing against these guys, it's just,
Right.
you're talking doubling the price of what it probably should be. So all that's said and done, we have to figure our money out on what's left over to see if we got enough money to tear those down and scoot them back and do whatever you guys want. So,
Just take them down,
they're not, to be honest with you, they ain't hurting nothing right now.
No,
What's that
just the look.
And that's part of the grant that we received from the Tree Foundation. or
All in
Tree,
kind.
Trust.
Wasn't that included in the grant?
Yeah, the brick was out front. Okay, magistrates, you have anything to report on? Matthew, anybody? Anybody have anything to report on? Otherwise, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Second by Jeff. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry.